You're doing late night shows, hot ones on the late nights.
Yeah,
rubbing shoulders with the powerful and elites. Who's starstruck you the most?
It's kind of probably a weird answer, but I grew up. I think we've even talked about this, but I was such a Loveline kid growing up, and Adam Carolla was like
really
more, really like a hero of mine growing up. I listened to, I was obsessive about it, and it's probably what kind of pushed me into doing this sort of thing more than anything else. And so having him on the show was like such a thing. And then I went to the Comedy Store like last week, and I think I was overserved, and he was there, and I like kind of ran up on him and was like, bro, like, like doing one of those like, dude, it's because oh man, like I love you so much, like you don't understand, I love you so much. So that's maybe like not the, but that was the thing that was one of the more surreal sort of sitting across, more surreal sort of where you are, where this is gone, and kind of like from when it started. It felt very full circle or something like that to me. And then Chris is probably Alexa Chung for similar reasons. When we had her on early on is because it felt very full circle.
Who's Alexa Chung? I didn't see that episode. Let me look that up.
She used to have, she's a British model and host, and she had this super funny show called Pop World in England, and I just loved it. And she would do these super cheeky interviews that were kind of just making fun of the celebrities, but like very sarcastic.
Wait,
and
this is the girl from that fashion show on Netflix.
Yeah, she's got a new.
That's just so weird.
She is hilarious.
I literally just.
The idea for Hot Ones was how to take a show like that and a cheekiness like that, and combine it with wings. So it was kind of an inspiration from the for the show coming on the show.
That's very
cool. Yeah.
So it's like kind of.
And he had like my mom's British, and I grew up with all this British comedy. So Ricky Gervais, Russell Brand, when those people come on, those are the ones where
I'm so jealous of those ones. I want Ricky Gervais and Russell.
Ricky would
be an awesome
dude. How do I get Ricky? He's like, I mean, God.
Fan. Yeah,
How'd you get Ricky?
Well, that was funny. Remember,
seems like something he wouldn't do.
Right, but
he was one of the nicest guests ever too. Like after we wrapped, and he only made it to 8 and then tapped out. He was so apologetic. Like,
that's so sweet.
Did I ruin your guys' show?
You're like, hey, no, you were amazing.
I feel like my answers sucked, and we were
just my God, what a
side. Like we got Ricky Gervais, and he was so funny, and it was amazing.
Dude, I love Ricky. He's my favorite.
But
he's very kind.
That was one of our favorite eras ever doing the show, because it was at such a crossroads for us on what's this going to be, and we are very opportunistic where we're like, okay, if we have an opportunity to shoot with somebody, we just pop the thing up wherever, whenever, wherever. And what happened? Did we land Ricky Gervais?
Crazy. We did a London trip.
Yeah.
We didn't really have much of a budget back then, so it was sort of like, if we're going to go to London, we have to line up all of these videos. So we did Ricky Gervais, Russell Brand, and this DJ who I think is funny called Charlie Sloth. And then we also shot a video with the chicken connoisseur, who was sort of viral at that time.
I remember the chicken connoisseur.
Who was reviewing fried chicken spots in London. So we went out and shot that. We shot a burger video, and then
Big
that
Lou,
became that show that Sean had for a while, Sean in the Wild.
That was only 3 days. So because we had nothing. So to make it make it where we weren't just flushing the budget down the toilet, we had to just from noon to night shoot. We had to just make that stuff happen, and we would just be up, writing the show until 2:30, 3 a.m. and then wake up at 6 and then just try to execute it. Remember that? That was that, but it was jet lagged,
running on fumes. But that was very galvanizing.
Yeah, that really brought us together as a team.
That is a good thing about your guys' set. I mean, you could do it anywhere. But it works everywhere.
Almost made the show, despite it not being on purpose, because it wouldn't work if we had to have everyone come to New York.
Right.
Yeah.
And with names like that, you got to. How often do you guys go to your guests?
Half of them.
Really?
Really?
Maybe more.
Well, if you get an A-list
we've already shot 6, or we will have by the end of this week, 0 of which have been in New York.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Because they all feel like they came to you, which makes almost the show feel even more prestigious. But when you get an A-list celebrity who's interested, and you fucking fly to them.
You just make it happen.
Yeah.
And too, because we're so prolific, you know, the show hasn't been going on that long, and we're in our 11th season, hundreds of episodes out. And to keep that going where you're putting out you know, between like 30 and 45
it's a lot.
Interviews a year. It's just, and too, because we take our time in the post-production to like deliver this sort of like polished experience to the viewer. But it's, you just have to, when like the name, you have to just turn, burn, and then you're committing all that time to this thing. So it's like a big cruise ship that also has to turn on a dime all the time.
Yeah.
How many people would it take to set up the set? Like if you're flying to someone?
It's a pretty small crew, like 3 to 4 people, including Sean, will fly out, and then you know, the crew's 6 people.
Black background, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
God bless. How do you get wings when you're on the road? You get good wings on the road?
Yeah, so we have like the vegan wings that we've been using locally. I think it's Boulan in LA, and that came because like Natalie Portman, those are her vegan wings. She's like, oh, I want these Boulan Thai kitchen wings.
What about in UK? You go to Ricky Gervais. How do you get fresh wings?
But those were like so for Ricky Gervais, he had vegan wings, and then they have this amazing.
He's vegetarian, right?
Yeah, and then or at least he was on the.
Which were better than
any wings I've ever had in my life.
Oh, real?
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to, if we go to a new city, we'll have to do research and you know, test a bunch of stuff before we give it to people.
So do you guys ever do interviews where someone's like on set, like an A-list celeb, and you got to go set up a makeshift studio in an unusual place?
The most common is a junket. So, you know.
Right.
Thankfully, more publicists and studios know the show now, so they basically book it at the end. But because they can't then go do 5 other interviews, the risk is, of
and they're
course,
just fucked the whole time.
Junkets always run late, so then like the time gets compressed, and you know they've been doing press all day, so they're tired, but it does tend to work out.
That's
as soon as
such a good.
Once the hot sauce hits, it tends to bring people's energy up.
So how do these junkets work? I've always wondered. Is it like there's one place in LA where all these people who are going to interview them come?
There are a bunch of like go-to spots for the most part, which will often be in hotels. But you know, in the era that we're in, there's so much more stuff like hot ones, like you know, the lie detector test. So everyone's kind of getting their own rooms and popping up their little games and stuff.
The actor comes, they just jump room to room.
Yeah, so like they're in a little bit of a circuit. I always feel like we're sort of removed someplace. Like we might be in a suite on like the 3rd floor, popping that thing up, and then somebody else is doing the circuit downstairs, and then we'll get like all right, 15 minutes, like lock it all in sort of situation, and then we just go.